We can all agree that the hero design inside Marvel Rivals is almost perfect, and the skins that we get in terms of the quantity is insane for this game, but they've seemed to have missed quite important ones that I want to see added in to Marvel Rivals relatively soon, because there's no real theme to the battle passes in this game, and surely at some point we should be getting one of these 16 skins that I'm about to show you throughout this video. Some of these are incredible, and it's kind of strange how they haven't added them into the game already. Now, we have had a lot of really good ones recently, and that is the Ultron Infinity Stone one. We've also had Man Spider as well, and also the Iron Spider. Now, it seems like Spider-Man gets a ton of skins, which he absolutely does, but there's a lot of really cool skins that have came to other heroes in this game, which is really good to see as well. But there's some heroes that are definitely lacking some skins too, and hopefully this video kind of fills you in on where we can get some additional skins for some of the heroes that don't actually have any. Now, these are all taken from comic books, and that is where I think that they should kind of take their skin ideas from, because these are the better ones out of the bunch in my opinion. I know they developed their own. Obviously, we've had the ones like the Phoenix skins and the Symbiote skins and things like that, but mainly the ones that actually come from the comic books are the coolest ones. But let's start off with the first one that I hope to see in the game at some point, and that is the Last Stand Spider-Man skin. Now, Spider-Man doesn't need another skin, I know, but this one is one of the ones I would love to see in the game. Now, this is more of like an evil version of Spider-Man, and not quite as crazy as some of his other skin designs, but definitely something I would love to see in this game. It's simple, but it makes him look completely badass, and that's what we want to see in terms of Spider-Man, and I'd love to get this skin at some point in the game. Like I said, they should make it red and black instead of obviously red and blue, and that is the way I think the skin should go. But like I said, I would love to see the Last Stand skin inside Marvel Rivals. I think they'll do a really good job on designing this one as well. When it comes to the next skin, trust me, we're moving on from Spider-Man now, and we moved on to Angela. Now, I've just stumbled across this one. It's like a silver Angela skin. I don't really know exactly what this is called, by the way, but it seems like she's got a lot more armor than what she has with her existing skin inside Marvel Rivals at the moment, and also the shape of her helmet is slightly different as well, which is really cool to see. So I'd like to see this one added into the game, because it looks a bit similar to her original design, but quite a bit different to that, and it's not like a crazy futuristic design or that crazy battle pass one that we got that no one even knows what that hero is even meant to be. So this one definitely looks really cool. I'd like to see more Angela skins. I think they can do a really good job at designing them, kind of similar to what we have with Thor at the moment. He's got quite a few cool different skin variations that are not too far away from his basic hero design. Next up, we've got a pretty recent hero, and that is Daredevil. So the next skin I would like to see added into the game is the Shadowland Daredevil skin. Now, this one's a pretty easy one, to be honest, because it's basically a recolor of his existing default skin, and we've also had two of them anyway. We've got the recolor that came with launch, and then also the ranked recolor as well. But this one would probably be the most popular, because not only is it a really popular comic book for Daredevil, but also it's just a really nice clean design. People like black skins. It just looks really cool, and like I said, it's like a really easy one for them to work into the game without any issues at all. All they need to do is recolor the base hero design and invert the colors, and we're golden, and that is basically it, more or less. But sticking with Daredevil, we've got another one which is from the TV show, or just in general, because we've got the Man Without Fear. Now, this is basically the basic Daredevil with no cool skins whatsoever. He's got the head mask on, which basically covers his eyes and everything like that, and I think this would just be a really cool idea for Daredevil to have another skin that is basically not a hero skin, and it just kind of makes them look a little bit different. So this one I would love to see added into the game as well. I know both of these skins are black, so they could pick one or the other if they want to kind of keep it so that there's not too many black Daredevil skins in the game. So maybe this one will be a slightly better option, because it's quite different to what he has for his base skin. But like I said, I'd like to see both of these added into the game. Next up, we've got Captain America. Now, when it comes to Captain America, he doesn't have a whole bunch of different skins that are too far away from what his base design is, but this one is slightly different, which is the Secret Avenger skin. Now, we could have picked something like the US Agent skin, but like I said, that's a whole different hero altogether, so we don't really want to be stealing other hero ideas, whereas they could be adding those heroes into the game maybe in the near future. So we want to kind of keep on the same character. So as you can see here, we've got the Secret Avenger, dark blue, and different crescent on the chest here, and they can play around with this design a little bit more. Obviously they do have a similar design like this inside the Avengers movies as well, so they can kind of play around with both of those, or maybe just keep his helmet off. Either which way, I think this is a really cool, simple design that would be another really good skin for Captain America. It is close to his base design, but it's different enough to make it slightly cooler, and they can obviously play around with it a bit more. Sticking on Captain America now, and we're moving on into the Winter Soldier OG skin. Now, this is the one that he was in Captain America Winter Soldier with, and I think that is the coolest we've ever seen Winter Soldier in anything, to be honest. So they could remove his face mask and maybe give him longer hair, for example, and then obviously make his full outfit blacked out with the silver arm. That's what we want to see inside the game. We've not actually had a skin close to this yet. Obviously he's got his Thunderbolt skin and all that, but this one is the best Winter Soldier skin I think would be added into the game. Now, it's not actually OG because it's not the same as the comic books, but regardless, I think this is a really, really cool skin we would like to see for Winter Soldier. This is the one that I would definitely buy for this hero. Moving on into the newest hero edition, and that is Gambit. Now, I'd like to see Gambit get a new skin, and this one would be the X-Men skin. Now, I've got a couple of different reasons why I like the X-Men skin on the X-Men, obviously, and that is because it shows what team they actually belong to. And similar to the Fantastic Four, where they all have the Fantastic Four skin, but then they all have individual, slightly different skins as well, I think this would be really cool for the Gambit and also any of the other future X-Men heroes coming to the game, because like I said, it shows you what team they actually belong to. Now, when it comes to Gambit, his alternate costume is the Assassin's Creed costume, which I just think looks absolutely horrible. I don't even know where they got that from. I'm not too sure if that's from a comic or not. Regardless, I don't really like the design of that one. I think it looks too close to an Assassin's Creed game, and I just don't really like it at all. But this one would be a really good alternative in my opinion. And kind of piggybacking off the back of that, I'd like to see Storm get an X-Men yellow and blue skin as well. I think this would be a really cool design. We already have one for Magic. We already have one for Psylocke. Why don't we have one for Storm yet? And why don't we have one for Emma Frost yet? That's what I'd like to see added into the game as well. Now, moving on into some cooler skins now. This is one I would love to see in the game, and that is the Infinity Thing skin. Oh my days, this skin looks insane, by the way. Now, we already have an Infinity Ultron, which I think does look really cool as well, which is part of the Battle Pass and part of What If. But what if we actually got an Infinity Thing skin in this game? This would be the skin for the Thing. I think it's such a cool, different design that we've not seen on the Thing right now. He's only just had a bunch of recolors, either to his shorts or to his actual blue skin, which doesn't look cool at all. This one would be insane, and I hope they add this in the game at some point. I want to see a lot more Infinity skins, hopefully, for any of the heroes in the comic books that do wield the Infinity Stones. This would be insane to see. Now, sticking with the Thing, because I think he's lacking some really cool skins when he actually has a lot inside the comic books, and that is the Angrier Thing skin. Now, this one looks really cool. He does kind of wield some kind of hammer, but obviously we know in Marvel Rivals the Thing doesn't wield any weapons, so I think they could do this exact skin but without the hammer, obviously, or maybe even without the little octopus things that are on him. I don't even know what they are, but they can remove those and just kind of make him more like a lava skin. Next up, we've got a Star-Lord skin, and there's not a bunch that we can actually pick from, and I know why they've tried to design brand new skins for Star-Lord. One makes him look like Syndrome out of The Incredibles, which I'm not a massive fan of, and I'm not too sure if that's actually from the comics at any point in time, so if you do know about that, leave it in the comments below. But the one I'd like to see is this OG Star-Lord skin. This helmet looks so menacing, man. And I think it just looks incredible. The black, the red, all of it just goes so well together. And this is the Star-Lord skin I'd like to see. Also, I'd like to see them adjust the weapons, the guns, so they look a bit more old school. I think that would be really, really cool. But overall, I think this design for Star-Lord is probably the best. Other than his base design inside the Marvel Rivals game, I think that's a really cool design. But every alternate skin that he's had, it just doesn't really appeal to me at all whatsoever, to be honest. So this is the one I would like to see added into Marvel Rivals. Next up, we've got one that I think everyone would love to see in this game, and that is Feral Wolverine. Now, we've had a lot of Wolverine skins recently, to be honest, so I don't think Wolverine needs a skin anytime soon, but to kind of add into that X-Men costume vibes, like I mentioned before, and the fact that Feral Wolverine with the bone claws would just be insane in this game, especially since he's got the rage meter and he can build up his rage. I think that just works so well with this costume design or the skin design. I'd love to see Feral Wolverine inside Marvel Rivals. I think it's just plays so well into his hero design as well in terms of his kit and the way it plays with the rage meter, like I said. Moving on into Ultron now, and when it comes to Ultron, we did get the What If skin with the Infinity Stones, and that was going to be in my video until I seen it already came in the Battle Pass. But now there's another couple of skins that I'd still want to see for Ultron, and Ultron does need buffs when it comes to his hero in general, because I love the idea of the character Ultron. I just think he's such a cool character for Marvel, and he needs a buff, man, but that's a whole separate issue for another day. But what I would like to see is the Ultron Extreme skin. Now, who wouldn't love to have this skin in the game? If you don't like this skin, there's something wrong with you, man, but this is incredible. Now, I know Ultron has a green alternative skin, but it just doesn't look like this, right? It's not got the shiny silver armor, it's not got the spikes on his shoulder, it's not got any of the cool stuff that comes with the Ultron Extreme skin. I need to see this in the game at some point. This is an incredible skin design for Ultron, and they can easily play around with this and make it fit the Marvel Rivals design. Sticking with Ultron, and because he's got such cool character designs inside the comic books, we need to get the Ultron Phalanx skin. I don't really know how you say that exactly, but this is the Ultron skin that we need to get in the game, man. This is incredible. Now, I like the Ultron Extreme one slightly better, but this one is just as good, to be honest, and this one looks probably the most menacing out of the bunch, so I'd like to see this one added into the game as well. He just looks incredibly cool in this. Now, like I said, hopefully he gets a buff when we get these skins, because then people can actually play them and do well with them, and then obviously have fun playing the skin as well. But in general, these are the two Ultron skins we have to see inside Marvel Rivals at some point. Next up, we've got a Doctor Strange skin. Now, what's good about Doctor Strange inside Marvel Rivals at the moment is that all of his skin designs are very different, which I find pretty cool, because a lot of the other heroes have very similar skin designs, and this one is very different once again, and that is the Doctor Strange Fate skin. Now, this one is almost completely different to any of his other hero designs, but from the comics, this just looks incredibly cool. And I think the helmet and everything like that just makes him so different to what we have in the game already for Doctor Strange. And I'd love to see this added into the game. This would be one of the best skins in the game. If they add it in, I'd definitely buy this straight away. It's just so cool and so different, and it makes him actually look like a mystical kind of character, and that is what I like about the Doctor Strange Fate skin. Bringing it back down to earth now, and we've got a Black Panther skin. We don't have too many BP skins, and a lot of them are very similar, so it would be good to see something slightly different, but this one is also kind of similar too. But we've seen a lot more OG skins come to the game, like the Captain America skin with the last season's Battle Pass, so I'd like to see an OG Black Panther skin as well. Now, the reason why this is different to his base design, and obviously they're both black, of course, but the base design was more modeled off of the MCU BP, whereas this one would be more similar to the comic books and his original design with the cape, right? I'd like to see Black Panther with less kind of tech to it, more of a simple design, like I said, with the OG Captain America skin, and also have the cape attached as well. And this can kind of pair really well with that Captain America skin that we recently got as well, because they kind of fight each other in the comics and things like that, which would be really cool to see. So there we have it. Those are 16 different costume ideas for a bunch of the heroes inside Marvel Rivals. I feel like there needs to be more from the actual comics, because they're way better skin designs inside the comics than we do trying to make up some fresh ones. Obviously later down the line we will need some fresh skins as well, but like I said, these ones need to be added to the game. Let me know what ones you want to see inside Marvel Rivals, if there's any in the comics that we've not seen yet. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thank you very much for watching.